desk setup didn't always look like this. In fact, at its earliest iteration, it looked something like this. Then eventually it became something like that. Through more evolution, it became something like that. Then it became my last refinement, which looked like this. And then finally, here we are. The point being that this video is not a history lesson, but it is to inspire you that your desk setup can constantly improve. Even now, I'm sure my desk setup will look completely different in 2 or 3 years from now. Nonetheless, with the current setup, I'm pretty happy. It's a nice mix of aesthetics and productivity. Hopefully, I can give you some inspiration from this desk tour as to how you can implement your setup, or at the very least show you the items that I'm using, and I will of course link everything in the video description below, so don't worry. So enough yippity yap, let's get into it. Imagine making a desk setup video without talking about the desk itself. Don't worry, we're not going to do that here. My desk of choice is the Flexi Spot desk. I believe this model is called the E5 Pro Plus, or at least that's what I remember it being called. Anyway, I love it for a few reasons. Firstly, the design. Sure, it has conventional metal legs like most other competitors with standing mechanisms. What makes it special truly though is the desktop. I mean, it's solid wood, it's high quality, it's got a lot of thickness, especially when compared to a lot of the competition, which means you can easily drill screws beneath it without worrying about puncturing the actual wood itself. And on top of that, it has this perfect glaze finish on the top. The staining here is so well done, and it really brings this desk to life. It can also hold a ton of weight thanks to a sturdy frame, and of course, since it's a standing desk, it has a control panel with 3 profiles that you can set for automatic adjustment. It's super convenient. As I'm getting older, I'm really starting to appreciate a standing desk more and more, and something I think everyone should consider investing in, especially if you spend a ton of time on your desk like I do. Here's a hint, this video isn't sponsored by GroveMade, which is why I don't have a GroveMade desk shelf, and frankly they're too overpriced to buy out of your own money, which means I had to find something that's a little bit more reasonably priced but offers similar quality, and I stumbled upon, I believe it's called Fenge. Anyway, this is a desk shelf monitorizer, whatever you want to call it. I love this thing. Firstly, it's super easy and fun to build. They use some pretty high quality parts for the most part anyway, and once you're done building it, you really appreciate the design. Everything from those metallic legs to that nice matching wooden tone that perfectly matches with the rest of my desk, by the way. That was coincidence, but I love it. To the fact that you have a second layer shelf similar to how GroveMate does it. This means I can actually store everything from my external drive to my notebook to 2 entire laptops at the lowest level, which you can hardly see because of the way they've designed this desk shelf. I really think this thing is an absolute masterpiece. It can hold up to 88 pounds in terms of total weight, and it's just amazing. On top of the shelf is my Dell ultra-sharp 4K 32-inch monitor. In case you missed it, this is a 4K display, and it has a 99% DCI-P3 color rating, which is imperative because I do a lot of color grading and video editing, and of course that's my bread and butter. Now, this monitor is great for what it does. It also has KVM functionality thanks to a built-in USB-C hub and a bunch of other cool stuff. I made a full review on it not too long ago. In case you're interested, they still sell this monitor. It goes on sale every now and then, so make sure you check Dell's website. I'll leave a link to it somewhere below. Yet above the monitor itself is a light bar. This is from our friends over at BenQ. They actually sent me the Hill light bar, and I absolutely love it. I've been using it for a few years now. It provides a lot of lighting for what it is. I'd say it actually makes lamps endangered species, since you don't really need them if you have one of these. And on top of that, it has a lot of cool features. It reduces eye strain, which is its primary purpose. It even has this convenient remote control, which allows you to change the temperature, the brightness at an automated mode, and it just provides a lot of aesthetic value as well. This is one of my favorite go-to accessories, and this is something I'll be keeping for the years to come as well. Once again, on top of the light bar is a webcam. This is the OBSBot 4K AI camera. I believe it's called the Teeny 2. Now, this was also sent to me some time ago. I think it's overkill for most people, including myself, but my goodness, does this camera provide some clear image quality. On top of that, it has advanced features like automatic face tracking. It also has built-in voice command, auto zoom, and zoom out as well, and it is the whole package. If you're serious about your webcam, this is as good as it gets, and I would recommend it for anyone who's that serious. But for the rest of us, do we really care about showing our 4K face to Karen at her day job? Probably not. Okay, we've been getting quite high up there. Let's come back to the desk. Now we talk about the keyboard. This is the Epommaker X Fecker Galaxy 80. Yes, that's how it's pronounced. No, that was not me cussing. The point is, this keyboard is one of my favorite pre-built keyboards out there right now. The reason being, it actually feels like you're typing on marbles. If you know anything about keyboards, you know how difficult that is to produce. Seriously, here's a quick sound test. I also just love the general looks of this keyboard with that blue, gray, and black contrast design. I did a full review on this keyboard not too long ago. You can find that on my channel. But again, this is a reasonably priced keyboard that offers a ton of quality in the pre-built world. Definitely one worth checking out at least. I've also been using the MX vertical mouse for about a year now, and it's really helped reduce my wrist fatigue, especially because I spend a lot of time editing, of course. Now, it does take a bit of getting used to because it's a complete change from how a conventional mouse feels, but once you get used to it, it's more or less the same, and it really does help from an ergonomic perspective. Plus, like all Logitech's MX products, the battery life is pretty much lasting forever. Like, I think I charge this once every 6 months, honestly, and it's just a great high quality piece of hardware. My desk mat is also not sponsored by GroveMade, which means I'm using an alternative company, and this right here is Beaver Peak. It's actually a local Canadian company supporting local businesses, and the quality here is as good as GroveMade, but guess what? It costs a little bit less, so honestly, it's a win-win. This next item intrigued me so much that I contacted our friends over at Art Digest to send me the Circle of Life lamp. Yes, that's what it's called, and it's a little dramatic, but honestly, it's stunning. It has a cherry wood finishing at the top. It's got a beautiful ambient lighting system. It's inspired by a tree design, but all the technology loaded in this thing is what really makes it cool, including a built-in wireless charger at the base. You also have a 2-temperature lighting system, which is conveniently controlled by a touch captive system at the top, and you even have this cool LCD digital display over here showing the time, giving you the ability to also set alarms, and the best part, you have a built-in Bluetooth speaker. Generally speaking, you can place this lamp in pretty much any setting, but for me, I keep it on my shelf, and it just brings so much more personality. It's a top-tier home decor item. A lot of people have been asking about that poster between my monitor and my shelf. That is a displate magnetic poster. In case you're not aware what it is, it's literally a sheet of metal that has the print on it, and it's conveniently attached through magnets, which can be attached on your wall through adhesives. Once it's on there, it's sturdy, it's firm, it's not as heavy as a frame, you don't have to drill any holes, so it's pretty convenient. The biggest downside though is that you kind of have to pay shipping as well as customs if you're outside of the US, so it can get pretty costly, but honestly they have some really amazing designs by some pretty cool artists on there, so you'll definitely want to check out their website as well. Another great accessory is MagTame's OMAG cable. In case all the mags didn't give it away, this is a fully magnetic cable, which means it stacks conveniently in a coil-like fashion, so it doesn't clutter around, it's not messy, it's super easy to use. It's also very high quality thanks to a fully braided design, and it can transfer anywhere between 60 to 240 watts of power, so it can charge all sorts of devices depending on which variant of the cable you get. Another one people frequently ask about is the Light lamp on my desk. It's a rechargeable battery powered lamp. It can last like 24 hours on a single charge, and it has multiple lighting settings. So it has like a low mode, a high brightness mode, and a pulsation mode. And on top of that, it's got a thin LED filament. So basically, you can literally move this thing around while it's on. It looks so cool. It levitates through a magnetic connection, and it also has a very premium and majestic looking design thanks to that glass cylinder. It is like a full-time companion on my desk at this point. And finally, we have the IKEA Teverhand lamp. This thing is an absolute steal given how affordably priced it is. It has a nice premium looking wooden base, a metallic stem, a super vintage design. I mean, that light bulb just is every retro lover's dream. It looks perfect on my desk, and this is a great lamp if you want something that's going to have a lot of aesthetic value, though it's not going to provide a lot of illumination, so I would just mostly keep it in that capacity. Now you're probably like, where the heck is the chair? The fact is, I'm about to actually change my current chair, which is a Secret Lab Omega chair. chair. It was good enough at the time, but my back kind of hurts and I will be getting a whole new chair entirely. I'll make a video on it when I do, so stay tuned for that. And there are of course some other subtle items I didn't cover. If there is something else you're interested in, please feel free to ask me in the comments. I will do my utmost best to try and get back to you. If you guys want to see more content like this, please consider subscribing, liking this video. That's a direct indication you're interested in what I have to say about my desk tour, and I'll focus on those kind of videos as well. As always, thank you so much for watching. You guys are awesome. Links are in the video description below. Catch you in the next one.